Hello, this little video is going to show you how to add and subtract fractions with different denominators. Please make sure that you've watched the video where you're adding and subtracting and the new denominators are the same. It's important you understand that part before you can move on to this part. Okay, so when the denominator, and you've watched the first video, you'll know that that's the bottom part. When they're different, I have to use equivalent fractions before I can add or subtract them. Again, I'll post the links to both the equivalent fractions video and to the same denominator video in the description below. But let's move on with this one. So I want to add together 2/5 and 3/4. So let's have a look. 2/5 plus 3/4. Now, to be honest, it wouldn't matter if I was adding them or subtracting them or comparing them. Now, often you're asked to compare a pair of fractions where you're using these symbols. There'll be another separate video on that, but the skill that you're going to learn for adding and subtracting them is the same. Well, I need a common denominator. So we've looked at equivalent fractions, and I know that the multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 16, 12, but that's not in there, and 20. So the lowest common multiple is 20. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rewrite both of these fractions with a denominator of 20. Well, 5 times 4 is 20. If I multiply the denominator, I have to do that to the top. So that becomes 8 out of 20. 4 times 5 gave me the 20, so I multiply the numerator on this fraction by 5. 3/5 are 15, and the original question was add them together. So what I have here is 8 plus 15, which is 23 out of 20. Please watch the video on converting that to a mixed number, and I'll just give you the answer here. 20 into 23 goes once, and there are 3/20 left over. If you don't know what I've just done there, look at the video on mixed numbers and improper fractions. Let's do another example. I might have something like 3/8 plus 2/10. Okay, well, the lowest common multiple, the number that both of these goes into, well, if I say the multiples of 8, I've got 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. They both go into 40. Now, some of you will jump straight to 80, and that's absolutely fine, but you'll have to cancel it down afterwards. Let me show you. To get 80, I had to multiply that by 10. If I times that by 10, I have to times that by 10. If I multiply that by 8, I have to multiply that by 8. Well, that will give me 46 out of 80. So then I've got to cancel down. Halve it, 23 out of 40. Bit convoluted. If I go straight for the 40, if I say 40, 8 times 5, so 3 times 5. 10 times 4, so 2 times 4. And that gives me straight away the 23 out of 40. So it's always more efficient to look for the lowest common multiple. Let me show you another example. If I had 3/10 plus 1/5, well, it's more efficient here to use 10 than 50, because I know that if I double this fraction, top and bottom, I'll have a denominator of 10. So I've got the 3/10 as original. I'm going to double this to make 10. If I double the denominator, I have to double the numerator, and that gave me 5/10. Now, hopefully you've watched the video on cancelling down fractions and equivalent fractions, so you'll know that this will cancel by 5 to become a half. So that equals 1/2. I'll do one more then we'll look at some subtraction, and then you can have a go. Really, they're just times tables in disguise. Here's one to have a go, have a think about. If I had 12 out of 16, let's do a subtraction, minus 3 out of 8. Okay, so let's have a look what's going on here. Well, if I double this fraction again, I've got 12 out of 16. This one becomes 8 2s, so 3 2s. Look at the video on equivalent fractions. If this is going a little bit fast, you need to watch the 2 links that I gave in the description. 12 take away 6 is 6 out of 16. Again, we can cancel this. They both divide by 2, so I can have 3 8ths. Isn't that lovely? The answer is the same as one of the fractions there. I think that's lovely. Anyway, that's what you do. You find the common denominator. So double that one, I'll have 6 out of 16, and then do your subtraction. One more example. If I had 4 7ths plus 2 9ths. Well, the lowest common multiple of 7 and 9 is 63. I'm going to write them underneath each other because then I won't get confused, which is particularly important when I do show you one more with the subtraction. Now I had to multiply that by 9, so that's multiplied by 9. 9 7s gave me 63, so I times that by 7. I must times the numerator by 7. And then 36 plus 14, so 36, 40 is 50. I can't cancel down, there's no common factor, that's the answer. It's very important, a lot of people cross multiply or use the butterfly method, but be very careful when you're doing the subtractions that you get the fractions in the right order. So let's have a look at this. If I had 2 5ths, subtract 7 tenths. Okay, well, the most efficient, the lowest common multiple is going to be 10. So I'm going to make this fraction 4 tenths, subtract 7 tenths, and it is okay to have a negative answer sometimes. All right, so it's very important you get the order correct. Now I hope you've got your pen and paper handy, and I'm going to give you some to try. So add and subtract the fractions with different denominators. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. The third one is a subtract. So let's have and the fourth one is a subtraction as well. So let's have 2/3 minus 10/15. Okay, pause the video and see how you get on. Remember, it's just times tables and you want to make the denominators the same. If you're a bit still confused, look at the video first on equivalent fractions. Okay, so you've had a go at these and let's have a look at the answers. Well, first one, this is handy, I can just double. So 10 plus 1 is 11 out of 14. I hope you got that right. I doubled the denominator, doubled the numerator, and I had 10 of them plus 1 of them is 11/14. This one, the common denominator is 45. So I'm having something out of 45 plus something out of 45. Well, 5 times 9, so 3 times 9. 9 times 5, so 2 times 5, which is 27 plus 10 is 37 out of 45. Hope you got that correct. Let's look at the subtractions. The skill is the same, we're just taking away. Well, here I notice that 5 goes into 25 5 times. So 14 take away 10 is 4 out of 25. Okay, hopefully you got that right. Let's look at the final one. Well, oh, this is lucky because 3 is a factor of 15. So all I have to do is say, well, 3 times 5. So 2 times 5. Oops, that looks like 6. Sorry about my bad writing there. Well, 10 of something, take away 10 of something is actually 0. Please don't write 0 out of 15, just write 0. Well, I hope you got those right, and have another run through the video if you didn't. Also watch the 2 that I've put in the description, and I really hope that helped. Bye bye.